The number one coaching problem is achieving 100% class participation. And the reason why this is the number one problem is because everything else stems from not having your students participate. So when a student is not participating, now you're splitting your energy trying to get students to participate in your class while you're simultaneously teaching your class. And this split happening, this fracture of energy, creates burnout. And so in order to avoid burnout on the job, we want to give you some tools on how to conserve your energy and how to enjoy your job at the highest level possible. And so by achieving 100% class participation, you're actually going to enjoy coming to classes and enjoy teaching your students because everyone is engaged with what you are doing. And it's so key and so important. So the first step to this is understanding how to read the room. Now, reading the room is essentially kind of picking up on social cues and compiling them and kind of creating an assessment on where you need to go with your class as a whole. But let's just talk about the components. So in the components of reading the room, what you're looking for in the warm-up or prior to class even starting is you're looking for which students are high energy versus which students are low energy. You're looking for which students are showing body language that shows that they're engaged versus which students are showing body language that shows they're disengaged. By just picking up on those 4 areas, you can read a lot of information that lets you know how this class is going to have to move forward throughout the day. So instead of showing up to class with some preconceived idea on how you think it's going to go, and then everything goes to disaster because you didn't expect whatever showed up that day, whether it's attitude, behavior, interest levels, boredom, whatever those emotions that come out, if you learn to read the room, you can start going, okay, I see where this class needs to go. And so this is the power of reading the room. Now, there's 4 main, you could say, paths that a class is going to go on, okay? You're either going to have a class that is high energy, low engagement. And if a class is high energy, low engagement, then you're working on regressing steps and just doing work. You're doing the easy stuff, but you're working really hard to keep them tired, get them moving. Okay? You don't want to be teaching them to spending minutes upon minutes trying to explain steps and progressions in a group that is low engaged. Low engagement means that they're paying attention to everything else around them. They don't really care about what you have to say. And so what you need to do is create an obstacle course, get a circuit going, create some simple tasks that they can do, make it competitive, and just get them to work. And so that is what a high energy, low engagement group is going to be needing to go on, that journey. Okay? But maybe you have a high energy, high engagement group. Okay, so now they're lots of energy, but they're fully engaged, hyper-focused on you. Well, now we're trying to progress those students, okay, because they're ready to learn, they're willing, they're eager, and they got a lot of energy too. So they're going to want to do the next thing, okay? But the danger with doing the next thing is not allowing them to earn the steps. And you just go, oh yeah, just huck that flip, you'll be fine. So there's a little bit of risk that can come into play with a high energy and high engaged group. So you're going to work them again, you're going to progress through steps, but you're going to put them through work. They need to feel work, they need to get tired, it needs to be difficult so that they're burning off this energy essentially, okay? But now what happens when we get to a low energy group? Low energy group and low engagement. That means that they don't want to try, they got all the excuses in the world, they're paying attention to everything else, they wish that they were home watching TV or doing something else or hanging out with their friends, whatever it might be. They're not engaged, and they're lackadaisical, they got no energy, they don't want to be a part of it. Okay, again, we're going to regress that group into easy stuff, and we're going to give them work, but we're not going to just work them for time to get them tired because they don't have any energy, right? They're just low energy. So what we want to do is put them on mental focus. Okay? We want to get their mental engagement high. So we want to put them on tasks that might be like, I really need to see a straight arm here, or see if you can put your hands in this specific spot, or move your feet over here specifically. And very, very micro goals that is very mentally engaging, because then you can start celebrating those wins. And once you start celebrating those wins, you're going to tap into the dopamine and serotonin, and all of a sudden they're going to get flooded with all the neurotransmitters that's going to help elevate the energy level. So you're basically trying to pull that energy level up. Now you might have a low energy, high engaged group, okay? So they don't talk a lot, they don't move very fast, but they'll listen, they stand in line, they're not disruptive in any sort of way, they're following the instructions, okay? This group can progress, but again, they're low energy. So that doesn't mean you're going to go from like a simple skill and just progress into the higher level skills. It takes a lot of energy. So you're going to have to lean onto the focus side of things, but you're also going to be chasing after successes. Because somebody who is low energy needs to feel success, because once you start feeling celebrated, all of a sudden you start getting that adrenaline and excitement going, and all of a sudden the energy elevates a little bit more. And so what you're doing is you're chasing progressions, and you're trying to chase success in those progressions. So you're looking for lots of reasons to celebrate everyone in a low energy, high engaged group. I mean, you want to celebrate everyone everywhere, but in that group specifically, you're thinking, how can I really focus on celebrating you specifically to see if I can elevate some of the energy in the group. Now, everyone is an individual, obviously, in your classes. However, there's certain energy types that are going to override everyone else. And so you need to look at your class. Yes, I have individuals and they have individual needs. And if you can think about all those steps in real time and individualize for each student, that's awesome. But shortcutting the process is oftentimes lumping the group into the energy that is dominating everyone else. And so there's going to be characters, students in your class that are going to be dominating the energy of the class. And it is oftentimes best, in my opinion, and my advice to you is to not fight that as much as go with it and take it down a path and bring everyone along. Now, if you can redirect it and get it more aligned to how you want it to be, that's awesome. That is what you should be chasing after. But when you're hitting this conflict where you're just like, man, I cannot get this energy to shift, you need to understand how to work with it. And so that comes down to reading the room and understanding how to get 100% class participation just by understanding what are the little dynamics that are controlling the entire situation. And so hopefully these tips are going to help you understand how to conserve your energy, have a more productive class, and prevent burnout.